welcome to Your Questions. This is where I get to ask the experts at Finder the questions that you want to know. And how do I know these are the questions that you're asking? Well, I've been trawling the internet for some of the most commonly asked questions on Google. This one is on travel. In fact, it's about traveling alone, traveling solo. Steph, thanks for joining me. What are your top tips on traveling solo?
I would say definitely be as prepared as you can be. This will give you a bit of assurance and a bit more confidence when you go traveling. If you're really scared about going traveling on your own, I would say maybe go on a tour. That way you have somebody that you can talk to, somebody who you can ask questions from, but you're still kind of having that travel experience, that solo travel experience for yourself. So on top of being prepared, I think it's really nice to get your bearings by doing a walking tour around the city. That way you're familiar with everything, you're a little more confident. You can ask the tour guide a couple of questions to give you a direction on where you want to go and what sparks your interest.
Steph, often solo traveling sounds solitary or a bit lonely, and it doesn't have to be, I've found in my experience. What are some of your tips and tricks for meeting people if that's what you want to do when you're traveling alone?
Well, I actually think that it's easier to meet people when you're solo traveling than when you're traveling with friends. Stay in a dorm room in a hostel. Hostels were built to build that kind of travel community. Also, if you are traveling around and you see another solo traveler, don't be afraid to say hi to them. You never know what kind of relationship you may form.
I know more and more people are volunteering. Is that another way to kind of have that solo experience?
Yes, definitely. So a lot of people, I feel, are turning toward volunteering in different countries. It means that you can stay in that country a lot longer, and you can also contribute to that community and get to know the locals quite a lot, and also get to know other travelers and other travelers who share your passions.
Steph, traveling solo sometimes can cost a little more, which is surprising, and I got caught out by that. There's things like single traveller supplements. Can you talk about some of those things for people that haven't had that before?
So single supplements mean that you are paying for the board of potentially two, usually on a ship or on tour you'd be sharing a room with another person. But because you're traveling on your own and you want your own space, you're paying for two people instead of one. It's inconvenient, yes, but you can get around that by opting to stay in a dorm room where you only pay for your single bed. Some cruises also come with single cabins, so you might want to look into those as well.
Steph, being a woman and traveling in some countries can be extra stressful and can feel a little bit more dangerous. What tips would you have for women that are looking to travel solo?
So I wouldn't discourage women from traveling solo, but you do feel that there is a heightened danger. You do have to be on your guard a little bit more. And as long as you keep those safety protocols in mind while you're traveling, you should be fine. Obviously, don't walk down dark lanes late at night. Try and be in crowded places most of the time. What I did once when I felt really intimidated in Turkey was that I bought a plastic ring and put it on my ring finger so that it would deter men from looking at me. One of the other tricks that I used was that I would go around corners to look at my map to find out where I was going, and then I'd confidently stride to it to make them kind of think that I was more of a local and I had more direction than I did. Because I feel like you are more vulnerable if you look lost, if you're constantly looking at maps, if you're constantly asking people for help.
Steph, travel editor at Finder, world traveller, solo traveller. If you could say one thing to people who are thinking about trying solo travel, what would you say?
If there's one thing I can say about solo traveling, it would be go for it. You'll take so many memories from it, you'll meet so many new people, make friendships from across the world, you won't regret it.
So there you have it. That is the lowdown from our very own Finder expert. If you want to know more about traveling solo or how it all works, click on the link in the description below. If you like this video, give us a like. And if you want to see more of our experts at Finder, why don't you hit subscribe too?